How's it going, guys? Paul from Alpha Wrestling Reviews, and I am here with
Sean. How's it going?
We're stuck doing this in the car. We were supposed to do this last night, but you just wouldn't have been able to see the video, so we ended up stopping halfway through. We started about halfway into Raw, and we just had to stop because it was awful. So here we are, back again, a day late for Raw again.
Yeah.
We're trying not to do this again, but it's quite difficult where we're recording at the moment.
We're trying to find a permanent recording space, so bear with us.
Yeah, you're going to have to excuse the steering wheel in my car. So, for those American viewers, it would be on Sean's side, but we drive the other side, so it's here.
We drive the right side of the road.
So what we're going to do is we're going to... We're driving the left side of the road.
We drive on the correct side.
Oh, I thought you said right side of the road. I was like, what? We're going to do Raw and SmackDown today, but what we're going to do is we're going to split two videos, so it's a bit easier for you guys to watch. I know it might be a pain in the arse watching like hour-and-a-half videos. So, yeah, we're going to start with Monday Night Raw, the Raw Superstar ShakeUp. Just off the bat, what did you think?
This is really bad.
It was
one of
awful.
the worst Raws I've seen, and I sat through 2008 Raw.
Oh my god, that sucked. But yeah, this one was, I think the ending was probably the best part. There was one part, I mean, I know you guys probably already know from my news report, there was one part in this that triggered everybody.
I've come to terms with it now, before.
I saw something online, and I'm hoping they're right. Again, I can't remember who it was that said it. They said, look, if you look at, say, the Big Show, you know, when he come in, they hated his name, but he got himself over. You know, I can't remember the other.
They're good enough to get themselves over.
I'm hoping it's their skill.
Right, so what you're talking about is War Raiders are now the Viking Experience.
Yes, sorry, I got a bit ahead of myself.
They're good enough to get themselves over with the name.
I hope so, because like I say, they are probably, in my opinion, the best tag team on Raw, or in WWE, I think. So I'm hoping that just their skills alone get them over.
I hope they're not heel though, because it's just gonna make it hard.
But saying that, look at, maybe I think that might have been just a debut of them. I mean, I'll probably be wrong next week, but look at Nikki Bella when she come back from injury. She got put on the heel team, and then next week she was a face.
Yeah.
At SummerSlam. So
It's
have to wait and see, aren't we? It's one of those things. But yeah, I'm just looking at my notes. Sorry. Right, so we was in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Now there was a few rewrites on Raw because basically
not everyone could get into Canada apparently.
No, and Samoa Joe. Now I said on my news report Samoa Joe wasn't there due to injury. Did you know he had pneumonia?
He was there. Yeah, he was very ill.
He was very, very ill.
I think I read he was barely functioning.
Yeah, he apparently had pneumonia, so that's why. But it looks
exclusive. Samoa Joe is on Raw now.
Yes, I was about to
You
say.
heard that here on Alpha Wrestling Reviews first.
Yes, he is on Raw now. They did do what I thought they would do, switch the mid-card titles. They seem to do that every other year. That seems to be a pattern. They leave, because the SmackDown one was on SmackDown the whole time last time. And then, because they had Jinder win it at Mania last year.
Yeah.
And then Jinder got drafted to Raw, and then Jeff Hardy won it 8 days later on Raw and took it to SmackDown. So, but yeah, so it looks like that Balor's on SmackDown. Spoilers.
That's good.
And Joe is on Raw, but that was not actually officially announced, the Joe one. But anyway, yes, so the show starts with Stephanie coming out to the ring. She gets some cheers actually at the start, but then it turns into mass boos.
Yeah. She wasn't wearing her pantsuit. She was wearing some acid wash jeans. I don't know why this is relevant.
No, I noticed
really
that. I actually said, I was watching it actually with my partner, who's not really a wrestling fan, but she was there watching it with me, and even she turned around and was like, what the hell is she wearing? I went, I don't know.
Blue acid wash jeans.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. They looked awful. But yeah, she's a heel again, because before Mania, with all this Triple H Batista thing, she was a babyface, and now she's a heel.
Did she
I
appear?
hate this. It was about 2 or 3 weeks before.
I remember her only appearing for Ric Flair's birthday.
Oh,
was she even there?
It possibly could have been, but yeah, I remember around that sort of time she was acting like a babyface, and then now she's a healer. Yeah. I hate this switching and turning.
Just
and when she announces something for the women's division, oh, she's a face again. No, don't do that. I hate that. But anyway, yeah, so she comes out. She calls out the best in the world.
Her brother,
Shane McMahon. Wow,
Wow,
they booed him to hell.
Oh.
Yeah, they absolutely booed him out the arena.
Also, I realised the other day that his head to body ratio really annoys me. It's got like a really tiny head.
And his sweat to normality ratio is just off the charts.
Hey, I have the same thing he has.
Really?
Yeah, I've had hairdressers too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was a really weird hug as well. That was sort of like...
It was like a friend you haven't seen for like 10 years, but you still think you're on the same page. And you go to like massively embrace them, and they're just like, oh, I'm just going to hold back on this hug a little bit.
It was a bit awkward. But yeah, she thinks that the crowd like him, which they do not. Poor Mike Rome, the announcer for Raw, then gets called to the side of the arena and does that Shane McMahon thing again, where he makes them.
He did it better than Greg.
Oh, a lot better. But I'm pretty done with that now. I think that's starting to die out. It's not even like, oh, well, it's getting good heel hit. It's like, oh, just stop it.
I'd like to hear Justin Roberts do it.
Yeah, best in the world. They had CM Punk chance again.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, that's still not died out.
No, he won't.
Shane tried to say best in the world in French, which was absolutely dire. I mean, I don't speak French, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't French.
I'm pretty sure it's just a mimic, because they were mimicking the accent across the 2 days of the shake-up quite a lot. Anyone that can't speak French, that is.
Oh, that's true. The crowd chant, "You suck." They said, "Oh no, that's Kurt Angle. He's retired." I thought that was quite funny, to be honest. And then he what does he do next? Oh, he calls Miz Senior a giant muppet, and then all of a sudden, Stephanie announces that the first switch over to Raw is coming, and then all of a sudden, Miz's music hits while Shane's in the ring, and Miz comes from behind. He attacks Shane, beats him down, and then somehow Shane, because he's the best in the world, gets one back on Miz.
Wait, the potato punches.
The potato punch. I've actually put in my notes here. The potato punches of doom are in effect, and he actually busts Miz open.
Yeah.
He had a big bloodline running down the side of his face, but Miz gets a chair out from the crowd. He basically punches him over the barrier, and he starts gloating. And Miz comes back, hits him with a chair that he must have picked up from the crowd. And Shane doesn't really sell it much. He sort of gets it in the back, but runs away. He doesn't fall to the ground because, you know, Shane McMahon is the best in the world. Did you know?
Shane McMahon no-sold a chair shot.
It's just, I mean, Shane McMahon won at WrestleMania. I mean, that's bad enough. But and it also looks like that feud's done, which I'm shocked at. I hope it's not.
No, because Miz needs
he needs to get his comeback. He needs to get his win.
He needs to get over.
If that's the end of the feud and Shane's won at Mania and that's it, I'll be livid.
Did you know why they took him to Raw? To get views for Miz and Mrs. up.
Oh, did you know it's over 1 million now? Yeah. Over 1 million. It's doing better than the Bellas have ever done, because the Bellas just sucked. But yeah, so basically he beats him down, Shane runs away, and that was basically the end of the segment. It wasn't really much, just to announce that Miz was on Raw. Stephanie sort of ran out and just Thanos'd into thin air. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, next we have a Mania highlight from Rollins and Lesnar. It was announced that Seth and Roman and a SmackDown superstar, which I thought was going to be Dean Ambrose, because they're announcing a live event on Sunday that Dean is going to be there.
I saw something on Twitter. It was like the Shield, The Last Stand, Shield, Last Chapter.
That's it. Yeah.
Like everyone goes into like Fast and Furious 2 Shield 2 Last, Last Shield.
Awful. But Dean Ambrose was actually backstage on Raw as well.
Yeah, he was.
He was backstage on Raw because I think he came out in the dark segment at the end of the night.
He's not left.
No, I don't know what's going on. But I think the way that they're working around this, like, he may come back in a couple of months' time, or he may generally be gone.
I've got it for weeks.
I'll have to see. And then so the main event was announced: Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and a SmackDown superstar versus, again, this team I can't believe is still around: McIntyre, Lashley, and Corbin. Because
who do you think they're going to be facing on Sunday? I bet it's going to be those three.
Yeah, I think it's going to be those three again. I'm hoping it's Corbin, because I was just spoilers. The end of the night, Lashley took the fall. The team of Seth and Roman and the unknown star, who we'll get to later, won, and Lashley took the frigging pinfall again, which I was not happy about. You got Corbin there, for Christ's sake. But yeah, anyway, I digress. So next, it's announced that the one and only Ricochet is on Monday Night Raw.
Did you know what they did to his theme song?
Oh, that stupid gunshot at the start. I didn't think it was. And I looked back on it, and you're like, oh crap!
No, it's not a gunshot. It's a ricochet.
I mean, the creep for Aleister Black's what do you call it? One was okay push, but that I won't say the word. But yeah, so Black and Ricochet are on Raw. I don't know why they didn't split them up. I would have had Ricochet go to SmackDown and Black's down Raw, but they didn't.
No. They moved thingy over, so I will get to that.
Right.
I'll come back to this comment.
Yeah, yeah. So they are facing. You had Black, Ricochet, and then you had I didn't actually.
Tyler.
Oh, Hawkins and Ryder, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Black, Ricochet, Hawkins, Ryder versus the Revival and the War. Oh wait, no.
The Viking Experience.
Experience.
It was released yesterday. We're going to be called the Berserkers. And they changed it half an hour before the show.
Oh, thank God.
The Berserkers. It's not the 80s, Vince.
But it's like, oh, the Viking Experience. Like we don't know that they're Vikings. What? I mean, Christ. Almighty.
The thing I don't understand is they could have kept Hanson and Rowe. Why change it to Ivar and Eric?
Ivar. Flipping Ivar. But I remember when they come out, I saw them out and I saw it pop up on their logo thing. I was like,
no, because did you hear the crowd? Did you hear the crowd?
Yeah,
they were going, war, war, war. Yeah.
But apparently that was the whole reason why they've dropped this name, is so that they're not.
Vince doesn't like the word raw because it's what is it? Too violent, and there's another word.
This is what annoys me, right? Yeah, I get that you're trying to be sort of PG, but at the end of the day, your business is built around people fighting. But it's built around people fighting, hitting each other with chair shots.
The one thing I realised,
it makes me laugh.
This whole 2 days of the shake-up is there is no synergy between the main roster and NXT.
No, and that pees me off. It's like a parallel universe.
Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous because the fans aren't stupid, and it's treating the fans like they're idiots.
Vince has gone, oh, no one's ever heard of these before. No one watches NXT, which literally some weekends.
Yeah, cheers Triple
has
H.
got more views than the
But
pay-per-view.
I mean, it's been said for years, but since Mania and these last two shows, people have been calling for Vince now to step down.
Yeah.
Because it shows it's just so out of touch. You need to keep a company like that sustaining. You need to adapt to survive.
He said in Stone Cold's podcast, it's not about what I want, it's what the fans want. I listen to the fans. We want War Raid, we want War Machine, actually.
Actually, I'm not going to lie. I didn't like it at first, but I actually prefer Raiders more than Machine. That's just my personal opinion. I thought Raiders was the better name.
Ricochet had 2 C's in it.
That was copyright reasons, though.
Yeah.
Same as Ruby Riott, they had to add an extra T to it because of copyright reasons. So anyway, yeah, the match was pretty good. We're not going to get into the actual full match itself, but the match was won.
A couple of good spots by the Viking Experience.
But the match was won when the Viking Experience. No, I'm going to call them War Raiders. I don't care. I'm calling them War Raiders.
Just call them Hanson and Rowe.
Hanson and Rowe. They used their tag team finisher, the backdrop, leg drop, on Ryder, wasn't it?
It was.
For the win.
I love how since Mania they're not going to let Kurt Hawkins take a pin until they lose the tag team championship. That's going to be it.
I still reckon Ryder's going to get peed off and he's going to turn heel.
Yeah, that'll be it. They'll lose the championships and then Ryder will turn heel.
Yeah, and I'll just put in my comments here, because of the War Raiders thing, I just said I am fuming, F you Vince, because I was done at this point. Me and you both almost turned it off, didn't we? I was quite annoyed.
To be fair, I fell asleep halfway through.
I did notice when you weren't messaging me back, so I was like, oh yeah. Anyway, so next it's announced on a promo segment that Cedric Alexander has left 205 Live. I thought this was going to happen.
His name will be Cedric.
Yeah, it would just be Cedric. I actually would prefer Alexander. But yeah, Cedric Alexander has left. He's going to be on Monday Night Raw, coming out of 205 Live. And a little bit of a spoiler for the... I'll probably say this again in the SmackDown video. Buddy Murphy has also been announced, which I thought he would do. That's why I thought he'd lose the Cruiserweight title. He's been announced for SmackDown Live. I still say by the end of the year, 205 Live's going to be dead. They're just going to integrate him into the other two rosters.
No, I don't think...
Because they've lost all their stars. I'm so glad Gargano didn't come up.
Think of no, because they're going to move Tyler Bates gone 205.
Why?
Where was Pete Dunne? That's my question. Because they had their rematch. Him and Volta had their rematch, which I'll tell you the result for that off camera. But, well, you can guess. But yeah, where's he? Everyone's like, oh, he's getting the call up.
Maybe they wanted to get the rematch out of the way first.
Unless he's going. Yeah, but surely we would have announced it coming soon. Unless they're gonna make it NXT UK, NXT main roster, which is so long.
I hope not. I really hope not.
No.
But yeah, next we had Finn Balor come out, and we had
Dressed in blue, by the way.
yeah, which actually Sean pointed out that was probably a what's the word I used? It's foreshadowing events, which ironically it actually did. Yeah, Finn Balor come out, and we thought, oh well, he's obviously going to be facing a star that's been transferred over. And sure enough, Andrade come out with Zelina Vega.
That's why Alistair wasn't thinking, because
That's why, yeah, because Zelina.
Vince has a thing where he doesn't like splitting up married couples.
And there was another thing that I'll point out later that I knew instantly who the partner was because of their partner gone over to Raw. But again, we'll get to that in a minute. We keep going ahead. So anyway, the match was actually pretty good, to be honest. I'm torn now for my match of the week. I think it's either this match or the Balor Ali match. But I can't work out which one I prefer.
Balor Ali.
Yeah, I'll probably also Balor Ali. I did actually have that one down. I was a bit torn. But the match was ended. Finn Balor ended up getting a Hurricane Rana from Zelina Vega while the referee was distracted with Andrade. He was then thrown back into the ring, hammerlock DDT, and
lost his last match on Raw.
Andrade picked up the win on the IC champion. People didn't like that. I'm okay with that.
No, because everyone was like, oh, Balor's going to lose the Intercontinental Championship to Andrade now. Nope.
No, I'm pretty glad with that, to be honest, because I think Andrade needed the momentum. He needed a bit of a pick-me-up.
Yeah. And
to get one on the IC, it wasn't like it was clean either. Like Zelina had to help him, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, it was a very good match, by the way, guys. Go watch it. So next we had a highlight from last week's Raw when Undertaker came out with Elias. Then there was an actual Elias segment, and I just put who's interrupting him tonight then. And my
who was it?
Rey Mysterio.
Oh, yeah.
Rey Mysterio. But my when I was watching this is where it actually cut out, and I had to reload my Sky and then come back onto it because my Skybox just went, and I had to reload my Sky, and Rey Mysterio was that, and I was like, oh, I was Rey then, obviously.
There are other TV providers available in the UK if you just
Yeah, but we just like Sky. Sponsored by Sky. It's not.
You can't say that.
It's not, guys.
Yet.
Yeah, so he plugs on the guitar, keeps playing, and then all of a sudden you had a Rey Mysterio Booyaka chant. Rey come out, sort of beat him down a little bit. He ran away with his tail between his legs. Elias.
What I love is all of the little Easter eggs that Elias puts in his songs.
Yeah, he did actually. What was the one this week? Because he definitely said, he always puts in...
something about a mystery, and then Mysterio comes out, and then on SmackDown, he said, my reign will last forever.
And then last week it was, anyone who interrupts me is a dead man. And I can't remember what he said at Mania, but he did it at Mania too.
Yeah.
It was. I think he said something about "you can't see me" or something like that. But yeah, he puts little Easter eggs in his thing. I thought that was.
I really enjoy that.
I think that's good. I think the man.
I really enjoy that.
On the mic, I think he's one of the best they've had in a while. When he can talk.
Top 5.
I mean, look at the way he was conducting the crowd on Raw tonight. He annoyed the Montreal fans so much that they was it this one or was it SmackDown? They did this one. Where they were booing so loud that he had to literally shout. It was Raw, wasn't it?
that was Raw.
Yeah, that was here. He was annoying the crowd.
He had
so
to
well that it was like back in October when you had Owens.
He hit somewhere it hurts. You don't pick on an American sport or Canadian sport team.
He just picked on the whole country.
Yeah.
But it was similar to when Owens and him were on stage back in October before Owens went out for injury, and it was so bad that they had to shout.
Trish to come out again, because last time he was in Canada, Trish came out.
But it was great. You know, Rey Mysterio come out, he sort of made Elias run away with his tail between his legs, and then I'm sick of this guy already. And he looks like
he's got like the world's weirdest mouth.
And he honestly, he is a combination of Snitsky and Braun Strowman. Go look at him, really.
Snitsky. Okay.
He's so bad.
Who was that? Gene Snitsky.
Gene Snitsky. It wasn't Mike, the baby punter.
No. Did he have another character?
No, he went away.
I'm thinking of Festus, because Festus is Luke Gallows. Yeah, that's weird.
But anyway, yes. So Lars Sullivan come out and he basically beat down Rey Mysterio.
I don't understand why. Like, there's got to be some sort of reason behind it.
And they announced on Raw that he was a Raw superstar. He then come out on SmackDown and then they were saying, oh no, he's a SmackDown superstar now.
There is no way he suffered from anxiety, by the way.
No.
It's all what's the word? Allegation, but there is definitely no way he had.
I reckon they probably just pulled him because they realised he weren't good enough to fight,
No.
or Cena just didn't want to fight him.
No,
Didn't want to face him.
he failed. There's a thing like he got backstage heat because he failed the
Wellness policy.
yeah, and he came back when he thought it was clean. But it's all speculation and allegation.
But yeah, so basically he beat down Ray with a freak accident.
What's his new one? I really like that.
I do like that.
Running sit-out
Now he
power
stopped
bomb.
doing headbutt because I hate the headbutt, and I think for concussion reasons, if they're trying to cut down on concussion
Isn't that
issues,
the reason why they banned the headbutt because of Chris Benoit?
oh, it's just, I mean, Daniel Bryan still does it with his concussion issues. I mean, it's more rare now. It's not like he does it each match as a moveset, but he pulls out on the
I
rare occasion.
really like the running sit-out power bomb.
So basically, it's a gut wrench version. He pulls him up gut wrench style, and then he does a running sit down powerbomb, and it looks brutal.
So good.
And again, spoilers for.
I don't like him, but man,
that's a better move. But spoilers for SmackDown, he done another one on R-Truth,
Archer sold that really
and
nice.
he literally bounced into another dimension. But yeah, so that was the end of that segment. Next we had Rude and Gable, who are now heel, and this is where they messed up the graphics spot. They played the graphics spot. I said to you, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was like, who's it going to be? And I was like, oh, I know exactly what it's going to be now. And as Rude and Gable were getting in, and they'd done their name bar, it come up with the Usos. So yeah, nice one, production truck, good one, Kevin Dunn. And yeah, sure enough, it was the Usos. They come out.
Good guy, Kevin Dunn.
And then I put in here, you said to me, Gable looks like a mum in a dressing gown.
He does. He looks like with the headband and everything. He looks like a soccer mum in a dressing
It
gown.
was hilarious. But so Rude and Gable got quite a bad heel, good heel sort of heat.
Yeah.
And the Usos got a huge cheer. The crowd loved the Usos. And can I just say on a side note, Montreal for Raw and SmackDown, you were brilliant.
Fantastic.
The crowd was.
You were better than the Raw.
I
after
keep
Mania
saying
crowd.
superb. I'm gonna need to find another word, but you were fantabby-dozy.
Sublime.
Sublime.
Amazing.
You were amazeballs. But yeah, great match. Match ended with a double super kick and then a double splash to Gable for the win. I was expecting a beatdown after, but there wasn't, and we will get into the SmackDown review as to why. But yeah, that was it. There was then a Reigns McIntyre highlight package from the WrestleMania. I'm getting a bit annoyed. I keep watching the big WrestleMania highlights now.
I forgot that match happened. Like literally did.
Yeah, and then it was after that was literally it. And then it was time for a moment of bliss. Oh, she looked gorgeous. I love Alexa Bliss.
We know.
Yeah.
You say it all the time.
I do. But this moment of bliss, now most times it's pointless. This one I actually thought was pretty good, to be honest.
No, Vince was mad with this one.
Was he?
Yeah.
I thought this one was pretty good. I don't get what Vince sees.
Sammy wasn't supposed to do all the things Sammy did. It was just supposed to...
He went off on Raw last week as well, didn't he? He done an off Raw sort of promo last week.
He was just supposed to go out there and be like, you were never there for me, so why should I be here for you?
But I like the way he done it. Vince is annoying me because
I love the way his music came on again.
that's the thing. Like, you're playing it again. Like
Oh.
you wind up the crowd, you get them all pumped up, and then you give it to them. Not just you go out. Oh, why am I doing it? I don't like it. No, I think the way that Sammy done it was
Came
better.
out, fell on the floor.
So yeah, he started basically just conducting the crowd. They were all chanting his theme song 3 times. They played his music.
Hilarious, yeah.
He then started. He was standing there to Alexa, sitting there to Alexa, and he basically said, "Look, watch. I can conduct the crowd. This is how fickle they are, basically." And he started No Lay chant, and they all joined in. He said he loves the city but hates the people. He somehow
Isn't
turned
he
those.
from Montreal?
Yeah, him and Owens are both Montreal.
Oh, that's got to be sour.
So he basically, says he loves the city, hates the people, and I love how someone who got cheered that much can get booed so quickly. He basically disses Quebec, and then
In French as well.
they start. I didn't understand what it was at the time, but then I realised the next night. I think you said to me it was actually they were then chanting for Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
And the thing that I picked up on, Alexa Bliss coming to the aid of Quebec. Now I know she's a bit inconsistent, but this for me seemed like a face turn for Alexa, or a tease of a face turn for Alexa. Because normally she'd agree with the heel, but she defended
Was she
them.
showing heel tendency? Was she
At all? Yeah, last week she did, because she beat Bailey and she was heel. But then she come out. This is why I had the ump last week, because it was we had Alexa. You had Lexi Kaufman at WrestleMania, then you had Alexa Bliss back at Raw. But this week it seemed like we had a tease of a face turn. Maybe I would like to see that. I think she still needs to keep this sort of bad chick persona, and that's awful to say, but it's the only thing I can think of. Bad woman persona, but as a good guy. And I would
defended
so
many
like
people.
So they defend Quebec. Sami Zayn basically says he's had enough. She basically digs right into Sami, and he doesn't like it, and he walks off. And then you get the na 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 way goodbye. And I thought this was a good segment.
Cheered away by his own home crowd.
Yeah, and that was it basically. But yeah, I thought it was a good segment. Whatever Vince is thinking, just again, I think the guy he's lost his marbles. He really has. So yeah, next we have the Iconics segment. Now these guys are not part of the Raw Shake-Up. Just the fact that they're the tag team champions, so they float between brands now. The Iconics. And I put in my comments here. I'm going to go make a cuppa.
He actually has. Oh wow. Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Yeah, I said I'm going to go and make a cuppa. There's a backstage segment. Segment. I'm all of a sudden Sean Connery. There's a backstage segment earlier on. Bailey was trying to get hold of Sasha Banks. They're turning this into a storyline now. How Sasha's just basically.
So she's not leaving. She's just having some time off.
Well, the rumour is she's going to return at Money in the Bank and be the winner. I hope not. I want to see heel Sasha Banks, but I don't want to win because I don't want this. Don't get me wrong. All this issues with the superstars on like wanting their release. Luke Harper's apparently been turned down for his release. But all these superstars wanting their release. You've had
yeah. By the way, Luke Harper requested his release.
You've had Wolf of. Oh no, I've done that in the news review earlier, so that's alright. You had the Wolf of Sanity. He's left. Luke Harper's asked for his release. Sasha Banks asked for hers as well.
What happened with Wolf Alexander?
He just had enough of the. He had enough of the way.
Killian Dane?
No, Killian Dane's staying, and so is Eric Young. Eric Young's to Raw, Dane's on SmackDown, and Alexander Wolf has left.
I really like Killian Dane.
These guys are independent contractors, therefore they should be able to go and, as they please. But WWE got them by the balls and say, no, you can't leave. That's not independent contractors, and it looks bad on WWE. And I don't know what they're playing at, but again, it just goes down to
it shows passion, because let's be honest, there's a few people that, like, for example, the Revival, they're going to see out their contract. They're still getting paid. They're still on TV.
That's true. And
Harper's still getting paid, but he wants to wrestle.
And he's got in such good shape for it as well.
They put him in Worlds Collide.
Or he's got back.
I'm surprised he didn't win that.
He was just Luke, wasn't he?
Yeah, they've given
him back the Harper name, which was good. But my initial...
No, it was just Harper.
Oh, okay, they're giving him Luke back. But my initial argument was, all this stuff with these superstars, they've asked for release, they've been denied, they want to leave. Fair enough, that's cool. But they've gone about it professionally. The thing that annoys me about Banks is how she's gone about it. You're still under contract. You still have to do a job. You're still getting paid. We as WWE fans have the right to gripe because we're the ones that are basically paying them, WWE. But the superstars are the ones getting paid. Like, if you did that at your job, you'd get fired.
Backstage at WrestleMania, didn't they, both of them?
Yeah, like, and then, they apparently had like proper Bailey tantrums backstage, like children. And a lot of the superstar, Rusev is one of them, and a few others that have not been named, are actually really annoyed at them.
Oh yeah, Rusev tweeted Botchmaster has gone.
Yeah, or Botchmaster be gone, I think it was. Yeah. And Dana Brooke was the one that was involved in that incident where she got her lip busted. But I think it's ridiculous. I think they're acting like children. I mean, if it comes out that that this was all a work, I'll hold my hands up and I'll apologise. But at the moment, it doesn't seem like it's any part of a work. It was them, generally. They had a tantrum in the locker room. They laid down loudly and refused to go away.
You're adults, man.
Yeah, they refused to work and they were being a pain in the arse. And then they've done it again in their hotel room. Grow up. They really need to. But anyway, we're going a bit over segment.
I digress.
I digress. So, the ending of the... Oh, so anyway, yes. So, that was the backstage segment. We then had Bayley and another tag team partner because she couldn't get hold of Sasha Banks versus the Iconics, and this was where I said to you I knew who this partner was going to be, because the Usos are on Raw with Jimmy Uso, and it was Naomi, Jimmy Uso's husband.
Because
wife. Naomi, Jimmy Uso's wife, not Jimmy Uso's husband.
Because Vince doesn't like splitting up married couples.
Yeah, but
So
I like that. I think that's a good idea.
Which means if Dean goes to SmackDown, Renee's not going to be on Raw for much longer.
Maybe. But yeah, I actually put in here, in the comments section, watching the two. It was only a 5-minute match. It was a poor match, to be honest. But I said Peyton Royce is so much better than Billie Kay. I don't think actually Billie Kay. She's improved since coming on the main roster, but I don't think she's actually that good.
It's just really screechy. I don't like it.
But Peyton for me is twice as good. But the match was ended. Peyton got a Bayley to Billie while Kay was the legal woman, and Kay ended up getting the split leg moonsault by Naomi, and the tag team champions got pinned.
I don't like that.
Yeah, and then it happened again on SmackDown. Again, we'll go into details when we do the SmackDown review. Please go and watch it when we put it up. But I don't like it because they've pinned the champions twice now in 2 nights. And I hate this weak champion thing. Why put the belts on them anyway?
Who was the last weak champion we had?
As much as I don't want to admit it, I think it was Alexa Bliss. She kept losing every match. I didn't like it. And she didn't defend the belt from October till February, when she was champion of 2017 to 2018.
Let's not get into defending of belts.
But yeah, so
Brock is the worst for that.
Oh, Brock, yeah, that's awful.
Honestly, I thought Vince's acquisition was going to be him because Fox want him for when they go in October.
I still think he will, but I think they don't know what's going on with his Cormier thing first, so I think they're giving him a bit of breathing space. Apparently he was quite annoyed at WrestleMania about something backstage. Nothing to do with Seth Rollins. Like I say, he picked Seth Rollins. He congratulated Seth while he was laying on the mat. But there was backstage politics that really peed off Brock and Paul Heyman. So I think he's giving Brock a bit of time to chill out. So yeah, anyway, moving on, we're going off subject. There was another women's main event highlight package. Now, I made my notes about this in the SmackDown review when I was watching it, but I might as well say it here. It happened on SmackDown as well. I think they're pushing Becky on us too much. She's in almost every single women's segment, and I can see the fans starting to get bored of it very soon. It's going to be the Roman Reigns effect. A lot of fans are already starting to get the ump with her. I don't like that stupid Becky two belts thing. I don't know why they haven't unified the belts.
She will. I reckon that'll be the thing at Money in the Bank. Because they did it with
But do you think
this is the women's version of? It was the women's version of John Cena versus Randy Orton in 2014 with the WWE and the World Heavyweight, the big gold belt. How long did it take him to unify it?
Well, Orton beat Cena for the World Heavyweight Championship, unifying the two at TLC 2013, and Orton held 2 belts to Mania, lost it to Bryan. Bryan then obviously
had 2 belts.
Lost. He got injured, and that's when he had to drop them. Cena won it at Money in the Bank, still having 2 belts.
Like a year, wasn't it?
And then no, it wasn't that long.
It was when Brock won.
And then Cena had that absolute massacre by Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and it was the next night. So from December 2013 all the way till August, he got given that belt on the 18th of August, because the SummerSlam that year was 17. I've got a real good thing with numbers, by the way, guys. I remember dates and numbers.
Yeah, it's quite fun sometimes.
Other times it's bloody annoying. Yeah, so I think she's being pressed down our throats too much, and I think it's gonna start getting. They need to delegate certain parts where she doesn't, like the SmackDown segment. She didn't need to be there. Again, we're going ahead. We'll get to that later. So anyway, yeah, they've done a recap of the women's main event segment at WrestleMania. I'm pretty bored of these WrestleMania highlights now. We then had EC3. Now, not 1 and 2.
That's dead.
Put that dead joke out there. I put in the brackets here, before it was announced who his opponent was for the match you supposed to be having, I just put, I bet he loses.
And then Braun's music hit.
They had an advert break, they come back, and then they had that stupid puppet dinosaur promo thing.
It was with a doll this time.
That was later in the night.
Did you see what someone tweeted? the doll thing happened and someone tweeted Pages on Raw.
Jesus. But yeah,
Sorry,
no, this
Paige.
because they done 2 promos in it, and they done the same on SmackDown as well. They done one halfway through and then one right at the end before the main event. But this one was just a stupid dinosaur promo, and Wyatt's laugh now, it's clear as day that it's Bray Wyatt. They've made the laugh so clear it's him. Yeah, then Braun Strowman comes out, and I just put again, yep, he's definitely losing. And I do not know what EC3 has
What's he
done
done?
backstage to annoy Vince McMahon.
Surely Vince is not. I know Vince didn't like him when he was Derek Bateman.
Well, that's why he got rid of him, didn't he?
Yeah.
He wanted
Surely he's
to.
not that petty to get him back. I know, because Vince has no control over him.
I've put in here, what the hell did he do to piss off Vince? In my comment, and I've just put a laughing emoji next to it. Basically, he got battered before the ring bell even goes. And Braun slaps him around, throws him outside, throws him up the ramp, into the LED board by the entrance section.
Which took a beating.
Oh, did it actually folded in on itself?
Yeah.
And then where you've got the Raw announce table is sitting on top of that platform. It's basically, again, it's like an airbag sort of thing. And Braun chokeslammed EC3 through that.
Please don't tell me we're going to get Braun having a chokeslam
No.
now.
I think that's always been his signature. It's always been his signature move, not his finisher.
No, his signature's running corner bomb.
Yeah, he does. He has been doing chokeslam for a while, because he started with that stupid reverse chokeslam, which I hate, but he dropped that and just started using a regular chokeslam. Yeah, he basically just beats the living hell out of him. I put in the sections here. Wow, he must have stuck a finger up Vince's bum or something to annoy him. Like something's annoyed him, Vince, that much.
That segment was supposed to be Joe and Braun.
Yes, it was. That was supposed to be Joe and Braun here, and that's why they just started to throw EC3 him and feed him to the lions, basically.
Did Drake come out with EC3?
No,
So
just EC3 on his
they
own.
haven't announced that Drake's his manager yet.
No. But yeah, so that was it, basically. And then we had the Becky coming out while Braun was still on the announce table, and EC3 was still through the announce ramp.
I'm actually quite bored. Now you said it, I'm quite bored of it.
Yeah, he's starting to drag a bit.
It's only been two weeks.
And because they're throwing it into our faces too much. But the thing that I did like was she looks at EC3, she looks at Braun, Braun's just staring at us to say, yeah, I did that. And she looks and she just goes, it did make me laugh, the look she put. So yeah, as she's walking down to the ring, she stands in there, the crowd sort of cheer for her a bit, and then we get another break. And as we come back from the break, there was a little Titantron, and it was announced just out of the blue that apparently it showed all of the Raw superstars that were currently over from SmackDown, and Eric Young was randomly in there without any announcement at all. Sanity are now, if you hadn't noticed by us talking about it earlier, Sanity are now officially gone and dead.
They didn't have
Eric Young's
a thing.
on Raw. I think they're changing his character. They have to. Surely.
Well, Sanity never had a run.
No, at all. Do you know the only pay-per-view win they ever got was from off the top of my head, was that tables match with New Day. All the way back at, I think it was Backlash last year. That was it. In fact, it might have even been after Backlash.
NXT though. That's the thing that annoys me. They were really good in NXT.
I was never a fan of Nikki Cross though. I never have been. I'd never got the character, but I liked the other three.
I know what you
and
did.
I love Killian Dane.
They're married, don't they?
Yeah, Killian Dane and Nikki Cross are a married couple now. I didn't know that until about 6 months ago. But yeah, long story short, she comes out and she has a match with Ruby Riott, and I put in here, it's this stupid format of the face getting beaten down that makes a comeback, but to be fair, she makes a very big comeback to where Ruby doesn't even get a single bit of offense in on her. She goes for the disarmer.
So is Becky face now?
Becky's always been face.
No, she wasn't. She was heel for most of the Ronda thing.
Even though the crowd sort of cheered her. She goes for the disarmer, the rest of the Riott squad pull her out. She then does a crossbody off of the apron, I think, to the other two Riott squad members. Pulls Riott back in and literally just puts her straight back in the disarmer. Riott taps out. And then she takes the Riott segment out after. She gives a Bexploder to both of them. Especially Liv Morgan sells it brilliantly. I
love Liv Morgan.
I love Liv Morgan. I think she's very underutilised. People give her so much stick.
She's very cute.
She's hot as well. Do you know she's with Mojo Rawley now?
What? No.
She was with Tyler Bate. Obviously, she was with Enzo, wasn't she? And then she realised Enzo was an absolute Peter Rick. She then She was then with Tyler Bate, but due to the fact that he's obviously over in UK, apparently she said in an interview it just weren't working out, but they're still good friends. And then yeah, she's now dating Mojo Rawley.
No,
the guy that stares in the mirror.
I really, really like their Twitter things. Like she was like, oh, and she uploaded a picture of her face. Like, we're getting off subject for this minute. She uploaded this like a selfie, and Tyler Bate was like, I really like your face. I was like, I want that.
She is gorgeous, and she's younger than me, which makes me feel.
How old are you?
26.
Raw.
26.
How old is she? Like 24?
21, I think. 22.
She's not my age.
Yeah, she's 22.
What?
She's really young.
When she was in like 21.
Yeah, when she was in XT, she was 19, 18, 19. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, anyway, we're going right off subject here. Yeah, so that was basically the end of the segment after Becky Lynch beats down the rest of the Riot Squad. I said New Day then. Nearly beats down the rest of the Riot Squad. And she goes back, holds both belts up, and I just put at the end, meh.
Meh.
Yeah, that was that. Cheerful Charlie Caruso. With the heel team for the main event, which is Bobby Lashley, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, and Drew McIntyre. Why are these guys still a thing? Drew McIntyre. Oh, the Scots are going to hate me for that one.
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I'm not really going to go into this segment. It was just a load of babble.
Oh, they're just talking about how they're going to win.
Yeah. I was like, right, yeah, cool, yeah, lovely, okay. Next.
Yeah.
We had Natalya come out, and it was
this match went really weird, really fast.
It was like, yeah, so they had this backstage segment, and then Natalya come out, and all of a sudden they panned to the ring while Natalya was coming down the entrance ramp, and Lynch was just still there with 2 belts. I was like, what are you doing there?
Because wasn't it then made number 1 contenders match?
Yeah. But this is what made me laugh.
Like with no...
Natalya's home country, not even hometown, home country. The cheer, you could hear pin drop, the tumbleweed just going across the ring. They did not give a flying F the fact Natalya was out here.
Don't really like her.
And I actually thought, oh, we're going to see a heel turn here.
She cringes me out of her cats.
Oh no, I don't know how. What's his name? Tyson's still with her. But yeah, she started doing this bumbling promo, and I've just put in my comments here, just get to the point, Natty. I mean, I know a lot of you are probably watching our videos and thinking get to the point as well, but I digress.
I'm sitting here and I think that.
Yeah, thanks.
Right.
Get to the point, Natty. I said she uses Brett's catchphrase of the best there is, best there was, and best there ever will be, and that got booed. Because you're not Bret Hart. You are nothing like Bret Hart. I'm sorry.
You're not Bret Hart.
And then Lynch is standing there, and you had Lacey Evans' music hit, and then Becky Lynch just on a whim. This obviously wasn't scripted. She just goes, "Oh, this dope." I laughed my head off at that. And she actually cut a good promo. I thought it was unique. It was something that we don't have in a while. A lot of people are sort of crapping on
the Southern Belle.
A lot of people are crapping on it. Although what I did like, someone else pointed out, the way that she was wording this promo, I'm not going to go into detail, the way she was wording this promo was like she was giving men favours backstage to get into the position she was in. And I thought, well, you're going to have to think about this promo next time you write it out, whoever's done that. Yeah, it made her sound a bit like a hooker, but it was a good heel promo nonetheless. And number 1 contenders match was announced between Lacey Evans and Natalya for Becky's Raw Women's Championship.
So she's defending them separately. That's why
and I put, wow, Lacey Evans having a match. Must be a blue moon outside. I thought she was good.
Since she got called up after.
It's her first competitive action since the Royal Rumble back in January, I think, off the top of my head. Yeah.
Apart from when she punched Becky the other day.
Yeah. So people actually were
When did she get called up?
Oh, she was one of those, like, you had Tucker and Otis.
Oh yeah.
EC3, her, and then Lars, and that was when Lars obviously had his anxiety. I mean, if he did have anxiety, again, we're sorry, but I don't think he did. Now people were crapping on this. They said that she was just a Charlotte 2.0. I still thought she was very good.
No,
she sold well.
3.0.
Oh yeah, but I thought she sold well. I thought she was. She got better since the Royal Rumble.
She has a lot to prove, considering the amount of they've shoved her down their throats as well.
And do you know what I liked? She didn't use the women's rights as the finisher. It's just a right fist. Why don't you just do that in the rest of the match? Just knock them out straight away.
You don't flinch. Nice.
She hits the women's rights out of nowhere as Natalya sort of throws her back in the ring from the outside, and as Natalya gets in, she just hits it out of nowhere. Pardon the Randy Orton pun. And then she stands on the middle rope, facing Natalya. She then jumps up to the top, turns, and then just instantly does a moonsault onto her, which was quite cool, and she had a good rotation, but Natalya was a bit far out, and her knees came straight down on Natalya's tits, basically. And you could see Natalya standing there going, ow! It's quite good. But Lacey Evans pins her for the 1-2-3. Lacey Evans is the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship.
Love that. Great. Yeah. Woo.
But this is my Grimes. Grimes. I don't care. I'm making up words. They've been wanting to book Lacey Evans. She was rumoured to be the woman that was going to be in the SmackDown Women's match at Mania.
But they're just giving her the Raw one.
They were booking her up. Now, unless they're going to make Lynch drop the belt, which I hope they don't. Because
they put too much time and effort into her.
They've put too much time and effort into her. I don't want Lacey, but that means
honestly,
unless there's a bad finish, Lacey's going to lose all momentum.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope. My voice went then.
I
hope. I'm from the south. I'm from the south, boy. But
don't do that again.
I hope that there's a dodgy finish, and I hope that she takes someone out and gets in the Money in the Bank match, and I hope that she wins the Money in the Bank match.
No.
I think she can be good.
Cross to win it.
Nah, I reckon it's going to be Alexa again, because there's a rumour that they're looking to push Alexa big this year.
Why?
I think by the end of the year she'll have had at least one more championship run. But I'm surprised they didn't. Again, spoilers, guys. They didn't send her over to SmackDown, even though she sort of hinted at it on the.
I don't know why they're hot potato in the women's belts. Like literally, the past 2 years, apart from bar Carmella and Asuka, it's been Charlotte, Alexa, Sasha, Becky, and Ronda. That's it.
But I like Alexa.
Yeah, we know you do.
If they do it as a face run, something different, then I'm all for it. But down the line, I don't think you should do it yet, because I think if someone beats Lynch for one of the belts, who's a heel, she then takes that belt off of the heel. But what annoys me is because she's got both belts, she's appearing on both shows, and this is the Roman Reigns effect. She's going to start being pushed down our throats, and the crowd are going to turn. They're going to turn. So anyway, again, we need to stop rambling. Yeah. So that was the end of the match. It was pretty good. I said Cheerful Charlie's now back, and she's outside the locker room of Reigns and Rollins, and the door opened for someone to come out and then rush back in again. You didn't really see him because they were covered behind Rollins, but I thought, oh, that's Dean. But it wasn't Dean, it was someone else. Not much to say again. They just were trying to tease who their third person was, and they said, no, you're going to have to wait for the end of the night. And then we had the main event. Now, again, as the main event was sort of happening, you had the heel team come out, and then you had a advert break. And then as you come back, this was where the doll segment was. If you've ever seen the film Annabelle, it looks like a gothic version of the Annabelle doll. It was creepy as hell. But
he's going to come back as like an evil toy maker.
That'd
be sick.
I think he's going to come back as some sort of gothic thing. He's going to come back with eye makeup and stuff like that.
That'd be sick.
But yeah, so we had the heel team come out first. We then had Seth Rollins, the Universal Champion, come out, and Roman Reigns. And then we had, thinking it could be Dean Ambrose.
AJ Styles.
It's not. It was AJ Styles. He's over to Raw. He's shaved his beard off as well. He's just got like a under beard.
Does he?
Yeah.
I mean, when he first debuted.
I shaved my beard off because it doesn't grow weird, and I end up looking like a badger on chemo when it grows. So. So yeah, AJ Styles comes out. But what annoyed me, I put in brackets here as well, they keep plugging that Corbin ended Angle's career. He didn't end Angle's career. Win or lose, Angle was retiring that night. He just managed to beat him in his last match. He did not end his career. Like, stop twisting the story. Stop twisting it to your own, your own versions. When us as fans are not idiots. We don't have an IQ of 4. We understand what's going on. So, but yeah. Anyway, I digress. The match was pretty good.
Was it?
It was alright. There was a Claymore to AJ. It was broken up. there was then a Superman punch to Drew. He went over the barrier. It was on the outside. Corbin went for his clothesline, like where he goes down, comes round the post and then goes back up. But as he was going back up, Roman caught him in a drive-by kick, which I thought was quite cool. And then Bobby Lashley got hit with a Pele kick, and he sold it brilliantly. He hit with a Pele kick. But anyway, yeah, we then had Lashley sort of slam Rollins down. I can't remember what it was he did to him. It was a bit like his Dominator, well, his new version of Dominator finisher, but it was like the opposite way round. Instead of him being sort of up and then throwing him down on his front, he sort of was on his front and then threw him down on his back. And then he went to cover him, but as he's covering him, Rollins hit the curb stomp, Reigns hit a spear, and then AJ Styles hit a phenomenal forearm, as I said at the start of the show.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. AJ Styles gets his pinfall.
So why do you think you've moved AJ?
I think it was his time.
No, because who's... Well, I suppose because of who went over to SmackDown.
The rumour is they're trying to entice the Good Brothers to stay, and what they've said is they can go over to Raw. Again, this isn't completely confirmed. This is just speculation at the moment. But the speculation is, yeah, that they're trying to get the Good Brothers to stay, so they're trying to entice them with maybe joining a faction with AJ on Raw. So that might be good, and you might see an AJ heel turn again.
Are the Good Brothers still on SmackDown?
Yes.
Who's just gone to SmackDown?
Balor, but no, apparently Balor's in line for a singles push. There's rumours.
He can finally get his main title.
There's
I'd
rumours.
love to see that.
There's rumours that by the end of the year he's going to be in the WWE title picture, but they're keeping him with the IC title for a while. Because again, you don't want a hot potato the belt.
No, and he needs a serious title run.
He does. Yeah, that was basically it. I've just put in the brackets at the end of this, AJ Styles, Rollins going forward, maybe? Just as a face-to-face match like they did with, although we were being booed out the arena. When AJ first debuted on the main roster, you had him versus Roman for the WWE title. I know Roman was being booed, but it was still technically face-to-face, and it was a good couple of matches.
I'd really like to see Seth and Andrade.
I want to see Seth Andrade, but I think Andrade is going to be in the mid-card. Oh, no, another rumour, guys. I've done this on the notes section. I've done this on the news section yesterday. The rumour is that Rey Mysterio, Andrade, and Sin Cara are going to be put as a trio.
So they're just killing everything Sin, Rey and Andrade had in SmackDown.
Well, apparently they're going to find respect in each other's competition, and that's how they're going to become allies, basically. I don't know. I think they'll be alright, because it's either that or they're going to do nothing on the main roster, because you're not going to have Andrade, thinking about it now, you're not going to have Andrade going for the US title when Samoa Joe's a heel, when he's going to be feuding with Strowman. But I've got a bad feeling, like I thought last week, that Strowman's going to win US title.
He needs a good title.
Your thoughts on the ratings for the show? Star ratings. What would you give it?
3 out of 5. It's like a...
I would give it 3, but a low 3.
Oh yeah, not like a 2.75.
3. Low 3. Just not make it confusing. Low 3 for me.
Yeah. Best match.
Better than last week. Match of the night, I would probably say, well, yeah, it was Balor Andrade. But that's not my match of the week. I think I'm going to go with you. Match of the week was what we will say on the SmackDown show. So yeah, we are now going to go over and film for the SmackDown show exactly where we are now. But we're going to cut this video off so it's a bit easier for you guys to watch. Once you've watched this, hopefully the SmackDown one will be up. Please go and watch that one too. We'll try not to ramble on the SmackDown one as much. Try. But yeah, I've been Paul.
I've been Sean.
You've been watching Alpha Wrestling Reviews. Take care, stay safe, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.